We just got tons of WWE 2K23 footage from content creators. I've watched the footage for a couple hours, and I'm here to talk about the things I liked about the game, the things I didn't like about the game. I'll leave all the original videos in the description below. So after watching all the footage, you probably feel the same way. It's kinda like WWE 2K22. Is that a bad thing? Probably not. But just by looking at the game, you probably get the idea. And before I even start talking about anything, let's talk about this right here. Double entrances. Yes, it's finally back. Introduced in SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 and removed in some 2K game for whatever reason, it's finally back, and it's a generic one. 2K. It's Roman Reigns, someone who held these championships for like a year. You couldn't give him a Roman Reigns entrance? Okay. Which is not that big of a problem. It's a very generic entrance and pretty much fits anyone. Well, almost anyone. But I feel like 2K kinda messed up right here because you see Roman Reigns has a very long entrance. First you gotta hear the intro, then he comes out. With this generic entrance, he just comes out right off the bat. So you can really tell this entrance was not made for Roman Reigns. It's not that big of a deal, I'm just happy these entrances are back, but boy, it's Roman Reigns. Now keep in mind, I haven't played the game, so I'm just giving you my first thoughts from what I've seen and what I've heard. Oh yeah, and this ain't going away. Okay, so let's talk about that one thing that every single YouTuber made sure to record, and that is war games. Now, like I've said in my previous video, I don't like the fact that it's being promoted as a new, game mode rather than just a match type. Especially after WWE 2K22, a game that was revolutionary, in the franchise. And now it's just, well, you ain't gonna get many changes, but now a match type is going to be a major feature. I don't like that. Back in the day, we have match types like Special Referee, Buried Alive, and it was never, meant to be that big of a deal. But I do understand how much work went into this match type because we have two rings right here, so I can already imagine the pain, when it comes to making this work. And after seeing this match type in action, I would say I'm pretty impressed. It seems like we don't have that many limitations. It's pretty close to what we're seeing on television. You can jump off the cage, we have entrance, and in my opinion, the best thing about this match is that we do have weapons. When you make your entrance, you can either grab some weapons or just go into the ring. That is a major feature. So I appreciate the chaos. Also, doing a springboard move from one ring to another, that's great. We also got the first look at the menu screen. It seems like there's a Titantron playing in the background. Something we've never seen before, but I really like that because now it's going to look a lot different every time. That is a wonderful idea. And even, the PNG images of Roman Reigns, John Cena, I think it looks clean. And this time around, it's not in a bad way. So when it comes to the actual gameplay of WWE 2K23, it's basically WWE 2K22, it's almost identical. Obviously, I haven't played it myself, but from what I've seen, from what people told, it's basically the same, which is not that bad of an idea. Last year's game was really strong. It's not a bad thing, but I've heard about all the fatigue, you can tell when someone is, being beaten up or tired. I haven't seen that, and that could be because the matches were not that long, or they just didn't really try it out, trying to run or whatever the case may be, but I honestly didn't see that much of a difference, so I can already tell a lot of people are going to be angry about it. But that's the thing with yearly releases, that's always the case. That's the case with FIFA, NBA, and I gotta say the gameplay is almost perfect, but there's still room for improvement. A very easy fix for this is updating the animations. I hate some of these animations, man, especially the ones that keep repeating, reversal animations, for example. That would make the game already feel a lot different. Also, give us some ragdoll physics, man. If I land on the ropes, let the ropes react to my landing. I guess that's the biggest feature we can hope when it comes to gameplay in a very far future, probably. Another thing I would like to see in the future is a selling animation. For example, RKO. Give RKO, a very often used finisher, different selling animations. You don't know which one you're going to hit. So I don't necessarily want to crap on this game. I'm just saying it's the same, and if you're expecting something really different from the gameplay, you're going to be disappointed. If you like WWE 2K22's gameplay, well, now you have Cody. We also got to see the new spear animation in action, and I absolutely love that because it may not make a lot of sense, but I always refuse to use Roman Reigns in video games because I hated that spear animation. It just didn't have that impact. it was also way too long, and any other spear just didn't fit Roman Reigns. I know I'm nitpicking right here, but I'm just really happy to see that new animation. In general, I would love to see more new finisher animations. RKO, not a bad animation, but you know, it makes me feel like I'm playing the same game over and over again. I feel like new animations is a bigger deal than people realize. We also got to see the new pin system, and I actually really like it. I don't even understand why people were so excited about the button mashing last year. First of all, I feel bad for my controller, and second of all, it doesn't give you that much control. If you ate like 5 or 6 finishers, you can already tell you ain't kicking out. There's smoke coming out of your controller, rest in peace your thumb, you ain't kicking out, boy. And with this new pin system, yes, it gets harder, which makes sense, but it's great because it's up to you whether you can or cannot kick out. But hey, if you're a good button masher, you can still change it back. I can already tell I'm not gonna be the biggest fan of 2K Showcase mode. They already made that big mistake they made last year, which is relying too much on actual footage. The reason behind it is that it gets boring watching cutscenes, so let's mix it up. I disagree. The biggest reason why we don't like 2K Showcase mode that much is because we already know what's gonna happen. We've seen it many times. So at least watching a cutscene made it a little bit different. To me, honestly, it just feels like a bit of an excuse to make less cutscenes. I don't know, I could be wrong right here. I also want to talk about some of the models I've seen. So I assume a lot of wrestlers were logged because I haven't seen Randy Orton or any, you know, mid-carders. So it's basically Roman, Cena, McIntyre, all of the major names you can imagine. From what I've seen, it looks pretty good. First of all, the graphics didn't get a major improvement, but I do appreciate the ray tracing. We have this reflection when someone is making an entrance, and I can't judge yet because I need to see this game on my 4K monitor. So when it comes to models, I love Edge's new model. I didn't actually expect him to be this, you know, up to date. It does look a little odd, but I can't complain. Although I do hope we have long-haired Edge because that Edge is goated. I don't know why, but even though John Cena's model looks great, he's using his old Trons. It's all green right here. Seth Rollins is one of these models that is really hard to nail for whatever reason, but I believe this year he looks really good. He's wearing one of my favorite and most memorable Seth Rollins attires. I can only assume it was really hard to pick which attire Seth Rollins is going to wear. My man, well, he ain't afraid of drip, you know? Rhea Ripley is looking phenomenal this year. One of the best models I've seen so far. I'm really glad they actually updated the look because I believe when we first got the screenshot, I think it was an earlier version of Rhea Ripley. Bianca looks great as always. The hair is moving like it should be, and we got to see some championships in the game, and I gotta be honest, it looks good because it already looked good in WWE 2K22, but it kinda sucks because, you know, we've seen modders who made better looking championships that had some color, some shine. So that kinda sucks. Bobby's looking good. That camera angle, seeing Bobby Lashley with the Titantron, the reflection, that actually goes pretty hard. Am I wrong, or did we already see that New Day attire? I don't know. It seems like WWE 2K20. I could be wrong. Braun Breaker is looking pretty good with the new NXT Championship. We already talked about how great Cody Rhodes looks. And when it comes to Becky, I don't think that's the best attire choice, but hopefully with all the My Faction crap, we can get, you know, the classic and, well, current Becky Lynchy. Becky Lynch. Holy shit. Hopefully we can get the current Becky Lynch. And Charlotte Flair never looked this good in a video game. Unfortunately, the championship is, well, it's floating. In general, when it comes to women, most of them look really good. And that's mostly because it seems like the hair got improved, which I know is really hard when it comes to making video games. The models look great. So all in all, I'm not sure how I feel about this game. Since it looks very close to WWE 2K22, I'm not too excited. My main focus is actually on the game modes because that's where we need these improvements. The gameplay is fine. Lack of features in GM mode, universe mode, that was what kept me from playing WWE 2K22 for a bit longer. So hopefully this year's game modes have that replay value. So let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about WWE 2K23 so far? Like I've said, I don't want to judge yet, but that's my job. I'm here to review what I've seen. Thank you for watching The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.